Before we continue with the rest of the video, we could use your help. Click that like button to help spread the word about watchJojo, and also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. Their widowed mom has dementia. Then they gave this amazing surprise, and it's all too much. Irene Linn suffers from Alzheimer's. The debilitating condition was gradually worsening, and her dedicated sons were beginning to feel that there was nothing they could do to help her. Then one of them came up with a plan, and what they did will melt your heart. Irene has 5 sons in all: Eric, Steve, Philip, Sam, and Mike. She used to refer to his brood as the boys, but that was before she was diagnosed with dementia. Now there are times when she can barely recognize them. But this isn't the first time that this Minnesota family has faced adversity. Tragedy struck the Linns around 20 years ago. It was a shattering event that would force Irene to take on the role of both mom and dad. The boy's father, Ron, was a hardworking man. A farmer, he was by no means wealthy, but he did everything he could for his family. However, one day in 1992, he headed out to tend to some cattle, and it would be the last time that anyone saw him alive. A bull, loose in the pasture, charged Ron, and when his wife arrived later, the animal was still sitting on his body. It was a tragic accident, and the family were understandably devastated. Mike, the youngest brother, was just 10 years of age at the time, while the rest of the clan was in their teens. At their father's wake, none of the boys would leave the coffin's side. It was time for Mom to step in. Somehow, Mom held it together, said Steve Linn in a Humankind documentary about the family. She worked, made all our sporting events, and hauled us around. Whatever we had to do, she did it. The Linn boys can't give their mom enough credit for how she coped during that incredibly difficult period. She took on the role of both parents, and for that, they're still truly grateful. But as the kids grew up, the woman who had worked so hard to raise them gave them a strong work ethic and showered them with love, would in turn need their help. In a sad development, she would become reliant on their care. By 2013, Irene Linn's dementia had set in, and she was not very well. But her boys were by her side. One of them would go to see her every day. Sometimes she'd be responsive, other times not. Her sons were feeling helpless, and Eric, in particular, was having trouble sleeping. But it was during a sleepless night that Eric happened upon an idea, a notion that would take their mind off the illness and give something back to their mom. He'd remembered his dad's old 1980 Chevy Scottsdale pickup. It hadn't been touched for more than a decade and was in a bad way. Eric's plan then was to restore it with his brothers, and while doing so, try to get through the hard times that lay ahead. After all, the old truck held a lot of memories for the boys and their mom. Eric, for instance, remembered when his dad first brought it home. He was proud as a peacock, he said. He was proud as a peacock, he said. That was a pretty big deal to have a new vehicle in the yard. And the truck had played a major part in the brothers' lives as they grew up. Mom and Dad would use it to drive their brood to and from church, and each of the boys learned how to drive in it. Eventually, though, the old truck gave up the ghost and broke down. But Eric couldn't get rid of it, for it held too many precious memories. Instead, he kept it parked up at the back of the shed. However, the Chevy was about to come out of retirement. In November 2013, Eric and his 4 brothers began work on restoring the old rusty pickup to its former glory. And it wasn't just the brothers working on the old vehicle. They invited their kids to join in too. During the renovation, the brothers regaled the next generation of Linns with stories of their grandpa and grandma. To do this project that's so personal to us, said Eric, that's pretty special. The Linn brothers, though, had taken on a massive task. Indeed, the Chevy would need a complete refurbishment. Finally, however, after 2 years of hard work, the job was complete. The Linn boys had brought their dad's old Chevy back to its former glory. Now all that was left to do was present this gift to their mom. On Mother's Day 2016, with family and friends gathered, the Linn brothers presented the truck to their mom. We want to present this truck to the person that stayed strong through difficult times, said Eric through tears. The boys had come to terms with their mom's illness together. Please don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell to receive everything that's new.